Hey, Eagle fans! Your Statesboro Walmart is your one-stop shop for all your Georgia Southern football and game day needs. Pick up your GSU sports gear here. We have t-shirts, hats, tote bags, koozies, stadium bleacher seats, car spirit flags, wall pennants, beads, and more right here at the best prices in town. Also, don't forget we can handle all of your tailgating needs with our great food trays, baked goods, and fresh, high-quality meat, seafood, and chicken.
Walmart. Save money. Live better. Walmart.
On this week's show, we catch up on the progress over the past few weeks of the Georgia Southern men's and women's basketball teams and take a look ahead at what's coming up. All that and more as we welcome you inside the Eagles Nest. And welcome inside the Eagles Nest. I'm your host, Josh Aubrey, being joined by Matt Yogus, sports editor and Georgia Southern beat writer for the Statesboro Herald. Matt, we had a couple weeks off. Georgia Southern played a few games in the meantime there. They won one and lost one in conference play as they kind of wrapped up their non-conference schedule, and now they get into the heart of the Sun Belt. It looks like there's a couple of teams on the top in the league, Georgia State, Lafayette, and Georgia Southern, and then maybe a couple in the middle and a couple on the bottom. Let's begin with the Eagles, who just come off, I wouldn't say it was a nail-biter, it was a little yawner, but a victory nonetheless. And in the league, we know how important it is to take care of home court. A victory this past week against Texas State. Your thoughts on where the Eagles are right now as they begin conference play?
Well, first of all, it was a 4-point win over Texas State, and the way that game was going, it was going to take 6 or 7 minutes to close that gap if you're Texas State. So Georgia Southern gets a 40-36 win over Texas State. Looked awful. Like you said, a win's a win. But then Texas State turns around, goes on the road to Georgia State, and beats them in overtime. So, part of that was Georgia State didn't shoot the ball from three. They made 3 out of 30-something three-point attempts. But a win's a win in Texas State. It's a big win for them. Big win for Georgia Southern because it evens them with Georgia State, who's the favorite to win the conference. It's two main storylines you got to look at when you're looking at this Georgia Southern basketball team. You got Jelani Hewitt and Eric Ferguson, and they're both kind of going in different directions. Hewitt, only 18 points total through 2 Sun Belt games. He was averaging 26 against Division I opponents coming in. Eric Ferguson really, coming back 5 games ago, has looked better every game he's played in. Well,
Jelani Hewitt, 6 for 30 in his last 3 games, and one of those games was against Truett McConnell. It looks as though it's very similar to what happened to him last year in that pre-Southern Conference, he was tearing it up, got into the league, and people started playing him a little differently. Do you expect the same thing to happen, or do you think because of having somebody like Trent Wiedemann and somebody like Eric Ferguson, they can't focus on Jelani quite as much?
Jelani's not going to score 26 points a game, I don't think, in Sun Belt play. But the good news is people are playing him a little different. They're paying all the attention to him, and you mentioned 2 guys who are great options to go to. You have Angel Matthias, who can clean up some extra points out there. There's scoring options on the field. So Jelani Hewitt, if he plays his game, if he takes the shots that are there for him, which aren't going to come along as frequently, that percentage is going to go up, and it's going to free up everybody else. He's just got to make good decisions. It seems like last 2 weeks he's been kind of transitioning from being the guy into being a guy who's going to distribute the ball. And there's been some bad decisions. We've seen it, Trent getting to the basket wide open off a pick and roll. They're not finding him down there. So there's some problems on this team. The good news, though, is they have all the pieces. They just got to figure out how to put them all together.
Well, it seems as though right now, even going into the year, you had a Trent Wiedemann who did practice a little bit with the team, so they kind of knew what to expect from him. But it seems like this team should get better as the year goes on. They had to play quite a few games without Eric Ferguson. Now he's in the mix. You've got Trent Wiedemann. You've got Jelani Hewitt, who's kind of been used to, carrying the load quite a bit. And it seems as though if you can get these guys on the same page, as you mentioned, might be able to make a run. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Eagles finish in the top 2 or 3 in the league.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound like I'm dumping on them because this is a really good team. Probably the best Georgia Southern teams we've seen since that 2004 to 2006 era when they were really, really good. And, they're a rimmed-out Wiedemann jumper on the road at UT Arlington away from being 9-2 and 2-0 in conference. So it's not like it's a disaster out there. We just see the potential of this team, and there's a lot of steps that can be taken to make this team really, really good.
All right, well, let's get out and see some highlights from the most recent game at home against Texas State. The Georgia Southern men hoping to even their conference mark at 1-1, hosting Texas State. Trent Wiedemann with the early bucket off the glass. The Eagles then go about 12 minutes without a field goal. Texas State taking the lead. Wes Davis the jumper, but Eric Ferguson finally helping to light a spark. He hits a pair of three-pointers. Then it's Ferguson starting to break with the block shot. He gets it ahead to Mike Hughes for the layup. Eagles by 1, but Texas State responds before the half. DJ Brown for 3. Texas State up 2 at the half, 21-19. Second half, not a lot of action. Wiedemann adding 9 rebounds here, coming up with a couple of buckets in the putback. He'd have 12 points. Texas State right back. Amani Gant the putback, but the Eagles respond with Kyle Doyle making the most of his one shot in the game. GSU by 1. Later off the miss, Ferguson the two-handed jam. He finished with 10 points. Jelani Hewitt only 1 field goal for the second straight game, but it was a big 3 coming right here. He'd have 10. And finally, late in the game, Angel Matias the putback, and Georgia Southern wins 40-36.
With more than 100 years of experience under one roof, Complete Car Care on 207 Northside Drive can do it all for your car or truck, gas or diesel, even hybrids, motors, tune-ups, front end, air conditioning, transmissions, electrical. Complete Car Care does it all. When others say no, Complete Car Care says yes. Come see what Michael and his team can do for you at Complete Car Care, 207 Northside Drive.
Next up for the Eagles, they'll be on the road for 2 games at Arkansas State and at South Alabama. Usually we're saying, okay, where are the women? Well, it's kind of unique and nice in a way. We know where they are, same place as the men, and all these are double headers. Unlike the men, though, the women, the opposite record right now. They are 3-8 on this season, coming off a tough loss at home to Texas State. Things don't look to get much easier for the women. Your thoughts on them? I guess one bright spot, Patrice Butler, playing pretty well right now.
Yeah, Patrice Butler is kind of turning into a scoring leader, and she can score from anywhere on the floor, which is helpful. She gets in the paint. She's got a good size. She can score from the outside as well. Takes a lot of three-pointers. She has the green light. Obviously, she can shoot the 3, but she's missed a lot of them lately. That's something you just got to shoot your way out of. But she's someone the Eagles have been leaning on, along with Angel McGowan, the point guard. Those have been kind of the 2 main scorers. We said before the season, as Anna Claire Knight goes, so go the Eagles. Well, that's not been the case. It's been more so the forwards go, so Angel McGowan goes. And then, of course, you have Alexis Sams, who's also been shooting the three-pointer really well. And they're not winning ball games. It's been pretty rough. But the thing is, they're not getting blown out of the water. They don't know how to win. But hopefully that's going to be something fixable, and they'll be able to win their way into the 18 field for the tournament.
All right, well, let's get out and see some highlights from the women taking on Texas State as well. The Georgia Southern Lady Eagles taking on Texas State in the first of 2 at Hanner Fieldhouse. Second half, the visitors with a 17-point lead as Ariel Anderson hits for 3. The Eagles try and come back behind Angel McGowan, 2 of her 18 points. Later, Patrice Butler left alone at the top of the key. She buries the three-pointer. Butler a little more known for scoring inside, and here she hits the hoop and the foul, part of her game-high 24. The visitors right back. Kyla Mays, 2 of her 10 in the game. Again, the Eagles try and cut into the lead as they go inside to Brianna Jones for the layup. Next, it's McGowan driving in for 2 more to cut the lead to 12. Next off the miss, Sierra Kirkland will come up with the putback and the foul. But it wasn't enough as Georgia Southern falls 79-65. Well, as we mentioned, next up, Arkansas State and South Alabama for the men and the women. They won't be home again until next Thursday. We'll have highlights of that doubleheader for you on next Friday's Eagles Nest. But for now, that'll wrap things up. For Matt Yogus, I'm Josh Aubrey. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.